All right, Stan Luter, what I say the main event is coming up here. Duke and North Carolina. They're the most recognizable teams to me in all of college basketball. They're here in the ACC semifinals here. Duke, North Carolina. What are you thinking?
It's what ACC basketball history has always been about. And so this is certainly not going to change. Duke and North Carolina, they played last year in the semifinals. A lot of people forget North Carolina won that game. In fact, everybody talks about winning 2 in a row this year. They actually won their last 3 against Duke. So this is a Carolina-Duke matchup. We'll talk about it in a second about some of the matchups. But it's what the ACC is about, and excited to be able to watch it firsthand.
Well, someone who grew up in Virginia, both my home state teams are out, Virginia and Virginia Tech. And Duke and North Carolina were the teams that nobody liked where I grew up, but around here, it's one or the other. It's like Eastern or Western style North Carolina barbecue.
Well, you can tell right now that Duke just arrived because you heard the boos. So you know what that's out. But being in Virginia, you know about the ugly rivalry of Virginia Tech and Virginia. Duke and North Carolina is different because
that's a bigger one.
Yeah, they're only 9 miles apart, and both of the teams have had success for a long time. Not new, this is old success. So we love this rivalry, and it's going to be fun to watch.
What do you think are the keys to the game? I think for Duke, you got to get Zion Williamson going. If you're North Carolina, you want to spread it around and get everyone involved.
Well, to be really honest with you, that's a key. But if you look at it more specifically, North Carolina's a transition team, and they score points in the paint. They scored 44 points yesterday inside-outside baskets. So can they score on the transition? Can they make some stops and get rebounds and run? They lead the country in rebounding margin by a +7. For Duke, it's about being able to stop the transition game and make three-point baskets. If Zion Williamson scores and they have success, they've still got to be able to have the balanced basketball game. Everybody's got to step up and play. Rebound, defend, it's a solid ball game for Duke. Carolina's going to do what they do. But you remember one thing, Carolina's got size, Carolina's got some depth, and that could wear on Duke in the second half.
I've covered about 20 of these, you about 30. North Carolina has more fans. They're like the bigger fan favorites.
Yeah.
Duke they're like superstar Billy Graham. They're like Roddy Piper. They're the villains. But you know what? When Zion Williamson's going, the fans are with him. He is the biggest draw in all of sports right now.
Never have I seen a player in the last 15, 20 years that's just transcended both schools and the whole conference in the country. Everybody loves this kid. He's a phenomenal talent. And you can sit back and talk about all the things. Here's the intangible for him. Last night, after 6-game miss because of an injury, 13 of 13, 14 rebounds, and gave Duke the energy that you need, not only in this game, but throughout the season. It's tournament time. If he doesn't have a great game, somebody else has got to step up. Don't put the pressure on Zion to be the leading scorer, but do put the pressure on Zion to be the emotional leader for the Duke Blue Devils.
Anybody, is there going to be an unknown guy? I still think it's going to be your main players that are going to decide this, but could one player come off the bench and have, like Leaky Black from Concord High School, has been hurt, but he's been cleared to play in practice. Could somebody like him come off the bench?
Cam Johnson is a guy you keep your eye on for North Carolina. It's Carolina-Duke. We can go throughout the history of this rivalry and see players that have stepped up and made plays. Trey Jones is a guy that doesn't score, but he can control this game on the defensive end, a la what Zion can do offensively and emotion-wise. Somebody will step up, and tomorrow we'll be talking about them because that team's going to play Florida State. Florida State? Yeah, Florida State in the ACC championship.
All right. It's for Stan Luter, I'm Kevin Casey. It's Duke. It's North Carolina.
No, Carolina is Duke.
Well, whatever. I say it's Duke and North Carolina, man.
I got to say Carolina's Duke just because I don't want the Duke people to killing people mad. You got to balance.
All right, but you're big like me, man. Nobody's going to mess with neither one of us. It's Duke and North Carolina. You need to say no more.